Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going over the top teams you can run for the Immortal squad of Ravaged Rum. So there was a lot of testing which was done in the Yapala Discord today, and basically they're two really good kind of free-to-play friendly teams that are performing. One of them is performing almost at the level of the Talene team. So even if you don't have Talene, you're able to compete for the top scores. I'm going to show that to you, but I'll show you the Talene team as well. So the top score I managed to get from our account was 125.4 billion damage. I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe with RNG we could get higher. As you can see, the top one in my server is 127 billion. But I'm going to show you all the comms basically that you can try to run to get that top score. So the first thing I'm going to show you is going to be the most budget friendly basically team that doesn't have Talene in it, but still look at this. We got 124 billion damage. That is crazy. Like, obviously the Paragon level is high on this account. However, that is rivaling the score of the top Talene team as well from my same account. So it shows you how good this team is. So you're going to run the Surging spell on team number 1. You're going to have the Bonnie and Cecilia on the faction talent tiles in the back. Ideally get the Cecilia the Gale Charms. I don't have them, so I have these, but Gale Charms would be better. And then also try to get the Bonnie. Sorcery Charms are fine for Bonnie, although Balance might be good as well. And Arcane seemed to be best for Velka for my testing. Nero, I just have Eagle Charms. I don't think it matters that much. And then Carolina, Arcane Charms, if you're running Carolina in this lineup, and I found that she did pretty well with the Surging spell. And for team number 2, it will be a Shemira team with NOVIK to heal her. So it'll be Shemira with the Butcher Charms, NOVIK with the Insight Charms, Thorin doesn't really matter, and this is with the Harmonic spell. So I want to take a look at the replay of the team number 1, and then we'll move on to the other teams, because I just want to show you exactly what's happening in these fights. So Velka is going to be a great hero to run even if she's at low ascension. So don't worry, even if you have one copy of Velka, people are still running them in their teams and getting high scores. So she's mainly here for her attack speed buff value, and even if she's one copy, she's going to deal a little bit of damage onto this boss. So this comp is a little bit weird. You have Bonnie as the major damage source, and she's also going to reduce or increase the damage the boss takes from magical heroes. So Carolina as well, and Carolina has magic defense shred to further increase the damage that your magical heroes deal. But you also have Cecilia in here because she's just a great damage dealer for Ravaged Rum, and she also has her own attacks and her Mr. Carlisle, her summon. They're both going to attack and help break the protective sigil faster of the boss, and that's really needed for this fight. And the Surging spell keeps your team alive for a lot of the fight, and that is a major reason you're running it, because with the NOVIK boss, basically your team can end up dying if you don't have a somewhat defensive artifact. So that is the major issue, and that's why it's usually recommended to run Harmonic spell with the team that is using NOVIK, because NOVIK can then heal up the team, and then you can get the advantage from the high health ratio, the bonus buffs you get from Harmonic spell. So 53.4 billion damage is fine, but the major damage comes from the team 2, which is Shemira. So if you have Shemira built, you're in good position for NOVIK. And even people, like, you might think like this account is heavily like maxed out basically, but there are people even with Supreme plus 10 exclusive equipment heroes with the same sort of team comp hitting like 120 billion damage. Maybe obviously not 124 like we hit, but 120 billion damage, which is still a very competitive score. So you just need to have basically Supreme plus 5 plus 10 exclusive equipment on the key heroes. For Shemira, of course, she needs to have plus 10. But Shemira is really going to help you, because now the thing is, I'm going to show you the next team. If you don't have Shemira, you're going to have to run a team like this, and you're seeing the score difference. 92 billion damage, that is not good. But this is the option. You're going to have to run something like this if you do not have Shemira built. So here now, we're going to have team number 1, NOVIK. And this team was come up with by Trios, so credit to him. So you're going to have this team, Carolina and Bonnie as your damage dealers. Thorin Soul Pack, Carolina, Nero in front of the Bonnie. And the charms are basically the same. Sorcery onto Bonnie, Arcane onto Carolina, Insight onto NOVIK, Nero with the Eagle Charms, and Thorin doesn't really matter what charms he has. And this is going to be with the Blade Summon artifact for team number 1, because NOVIK is going to keep the team healed or healthy. And then team number 2, actually, I want to try something different. I want to do another run of this. I want to try swapping the artifacts, because like we said, NOVIK is going to keep your team topped off where it should do, and Harmonic spell can get higher value. And team number 2 is going to be just basically leftover heroes. Cece is a good damage dealer. Sylvina is fine. in Sylvina's slot, basically, you can run Hodgkin if you have him. It'll probably be better. But I think for most free-to-play players, they don't have Hodgkin built, but they would have Sylvina. And Sylvina does fine as well. Like, not great, but she's fine. Sylvina, Cisia, and then Velka in the middle. Arcane Charms onto Velka. Sylvina, I don't know, maybe Gale Sorcery Charms if you can get them. And then Cisia, the Gale Charms ideally would make a difference. Except if you're running the Talene team. So now the Talene team, which is where we got the top score, it was this. And like, funnily enough, basically the healing spell is going to be doing the best for this comp to keep the team alive. And this is basically this was how I got my top record. We can do a couple more runs of it. Maybe we can get lucky and get an even higher score. So it's going to be Harmonic Spell Ludovic on team number 2, which is actually very similar. This is actually very similar to the team I showed you without Talene, because that has exactly the same team number 2. But the difference is in the team number 1. That we're running Talene, although Talene is not even doing that much better than the other options you would have here. Yeah, which is basically the Cisia, right? Yeah, anyway, so you're going to have Nero in front of the Talene. Velka's going to be buffing up their attack speed. Carolina in front of the Bonnie. And team number 2 is going to be this. And if you take a look at the team number 1, so Talene does do pretty decent damage. Bonnie also dealing a lot of damage. And then I think probably a bit of the difference between my score and like the top 1 of my server is he has a plus 15 Velka, and I think even Paragon 3 or Paragon 4. So that would definitely make a difference because she is a damage dealer here for this team. And but other than that, we're basically maxed out. So I was actually expecting that maybe we could compete for the top 1 position, but actually when you think about it, he is higher upgrade compared to me. So probably like even with RNG, you're probably not going to be able to do that. Anyway, let's go ahead and use this run. I want to show you the whole fight play out. And yeah, we're running it with the healing spell because honestly, that is doing the best for the Talene team. Because I think the thing with that Talene team is you don't have any healer. You're running Ludovic on team number 2. So you need to have more form of healing for the Talene to allow it to get off value. So we break the Protective Sigil pretty quickly on the boss. Most teams are going to break the Protective Sigil fast, but then it just comes to how much damage your team is able to deal. And look at the Talene here. Okay, wow. That's really is kind of a weird mechanic you saw right there. There's like a pause in time, like for some animation playing out, and Talene was just basically getting free healing from that. So she did go down one time, she had to resurrect herself, and now she's probably going to go down again. This is the major issue with her. And you might be thinking, well, then why don't you put Ludovic on this team? It actually works out. I did Ludovic on team 1 with Talene, and it doesn't end up getting as good of a score as this comp. Like, this one is consistently getting higher scores for people. Just having the healing spell here and letting Talene die a few times, and having Ludovic on team number 2 to maximize the Shemira damage. Yeah, I think my weakness for this team is the Velka, that she's not highly built up. And yeah, I think really, like, even just getting her plus 15, plus 20, that would give me a big upgrade for my team, but I'm not doing that. I probably am not doing that for Ravaged Rum because I just don't think it's worth it. So 55 billion on team number 1. Team number 2 is crazy. Like, this is just such a strong and powerful team. Shemira deals massive damage and Ludovic just tops her off on health and also provides the attack buff to her from the Ludovic's quality bonus of the charms. If we had Thorin with his blast charms, that would increase his damage a little bit, and his damage does make it's a little bit, so like maybe can make somewhat of a difference, but these are just really sort of min-maxing points. And for Shemira, by the way, Butcher Charms on her if I didn't mention it, and Insight Charms onto Ludovic. I think I did mention it. Okay, in order to get a new record, we have to break 70 billion damage. So Shemira is the best at breaking the Protective Sigil, as you guys saw right there. Just within seconds, it's going to go off. Yeah, if we can get 72 billion here, we can actually get top 1, but I don't think that's possible, right? Even getting 70 billion is tough here. We got 55 billion damage on team number 1. Oh, and now look at this. The burst from the boss. We're barely able to survive. We need to keep hanging in there. 66 billion damage. Come on, Shemira. Show us what you're made of. 8 seconds left. It's close. 4 seconds left. No, I think we're going to about basically tie our score. I think there's another 125 billion damage. Almost 125 billion damage, adding them up. Okay, so that is basically it for the teams of today. it's kind of undecided between the Talene team and the other CCA team that I showed you, which is actually better. They're both doing almost around the same ballpark of damage. And if I had the Gale Charms on CCA, it might even be able to overtake this. So both are great team options. Basically, you don't need Talene for this boss. But if you're running Talene, run it with the Blast Charms. If I didn't already mention that, but I hope I did. Yeah, Talene with the Blast Charms. And the Bonnie is running the Sorcery Charms, Velka, Arcane on Carolina, Arcane on Velka, and Nero with the Eagle Charms. But anyway, guys, hopefully this is helpful. Good luck getting a top score today. If there's any other team that worked for you can feel free to share in the comment section. And if there's any other major update to the teams, I will make another follow-up video. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the score, 125.45 billion damage. I think that's near our maximum potential. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next one. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. But thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.